We're outside. We're dedicated. We're at the Tokyo Dome Hotel.
No pictures. No cat pattern. No pictures. Cat pattern. No pictures.
What's up, vlog? So I'm sorry I didn't put out a movie last week. Had a lot going on. Currently in the process of selling our house. Also had finals that I was taking care of along with a lot of work projects were going on at the same time. So many things put together made me unable to put out a vlog. On top of all of that, to compound the issue, I ordered a DSLR camera off of Amazon last week in order to be able to bring you guys some more fire and possibly a better aspect. And you know, I know it's the holiday season, and I know that there's a lot of packages being moved around. They have to have a lot of help: UPS, USPS, FedEx, so on and so forth. You know, my problem was I ordered a package from Amazon through my Prime account, so 2-day shipping. It was through a verified, third-party seller that was working in conjunction with Amazon. And so they sent it out on a Monday morning, and so, order it Monday, should receive it Wednesday. That was the date that they had set. And so not to bore you with all the details, but essentially, it never came. They didn't attempt to deliver it off, whoever this third-party driver was for UPS. They didn't attempt to drop it off, and they told me to pick it up from a shady video game location somewhere north of me, and I wasn't having it. So I'm now in the process of trying to get Amazon to give me my money back for the DSLR that I never received, and once I get that back, I'm going to go ahead and shop locally to find a DSLR camera, and we'll go from there. So that's been an update on me. Like I said, I'm sorry that I haven't put anything out. Although you should notice that I did just put out a one chip challenge that I did yesterday, and it wasn't that bad. It's my last will and testament. So, anyways, there was that, and now I'm gonna go ahead and move on. Japan. In 2017, I was able to accomplish the goal of going to Tokyo, to the Tokyo Dome, to see Wrestle Kingdom. My journey started on December 31st and lasted until January 9th. In that time, I saw a bunch of shows, got to learn a lot about the Japanese wrestling culture, got to see some amazing things. And now in a couple of weeks, a lot of you that are watching this will likely be heading out there, and I can't wait. I'm so excited for you guys. Fortunately, I wasn't able to make the sojourn out there this year. Instead, I got my other trips coming up. But I want to go ahead and give you guys some tidbits about different things. So let's go ahead and start with the first one. So food. Food is the most important thing to most people going to Japan. And, a lot of you here, it's very expensive to eat out in Tokyo. And you know what? It is. I'm sorry. TGI Fridays right next to Kurikan. Great food, expensive. Sizzler inside of the Tokyo Dome Hotel right next to Kurikan. Delicious, expensive. And all the way down the line, even, McDonald's is a little bit more expensive out there. So let me go ahead and let you know what I did a lot of the time I was out there. Although I did, do the Sizzler and TGI Fridays and all that stuff a lot throughout the trip. I also found out a small little life hack is if you go to the 7-Elevens or like the convenience stores in Tokyo, you can get cheap food there that is absolutely delicious. So, they have anything from like sandwiches to they also have bowls and stuff. And the coolest thing is, like, anything that you see in the fridges that looks like it needs to be heated, you go up and you buy it at the front. They go ahead and throw it in like, a little oven. They heat it up for you, and they go ahead and give it back. They give you some chopsticks with it, and you just sit out there and eat. It's really awesome. That's what I did for a lot of, just like quick meals. I'd go and I get like a, barbecue chicken with rice and veggies. They go ahead and throw it in their oven, give it out to me, and then we would just sit on the front steps and eat it. A lot of people say, oh, well, it's really impolite to, eat or drink in public. But, when you're in front of a convenience store, like, what are you really going to do? Maybe that's just, the American, flaunting his arrogance or whatever. But I was hungry, and it's what I had to do. So I really suggest that if you're going on a budget, 7-Eleven's a place to go. Just don't be like my buddy Mark, hi Mark, and not know how to use chopsticks. We went to Shinkiba, and one really funny thing is there's a place that they had absolutely no silverware, so he couldn't eat his bowl. Luckily, they were able to find him a tiny little dolphin, fork or spoon or whatever it was to allow him to eat. He just looked like a giant child. Tickets in Tokyo. A lot of people are using delivery services, other things in order to get their tickets. And for some of those things, you really do need to do that. The things that are going to sell out. DDT was selling out like way before we arrived. In the Tokyo Dome. So the Tokyo Dome, with that, we ordered our tickets off the New Japan site, which was really, really easy. So we did that. But then, like New Year's Dash, and I'm sorry to the people, for New Year's Dash, it sounds like, a lot of people are going to go. New Japan should really set up packages, for this, night after Tokyo Dome show to allow the Americans that are traveling over to be able to do that show as well. Or at least just move it to a bigger arena, go to Sumo Hall, do something like that. But, again, sorry guys. But for, when we did New Year's Dash, like a lot of other people tried, we went through a ticket reseller. That was really good. You pay them a little bit on top of, what it costs, and they'll just send you the tickets. It was really nice. But for the other shows, like the Noahs and the, All Japans and the Wrestle ones and so on and so forth. So the night that we got into Tokyo, we just went straight to Kurikan Hall. Inside of Kurikan Hall, there's actually a box office. So if you walk up the elevators, you take a right and you just keep walking. You'll see the box office. You walk in there, you can buy tickets from in there. They also have the ticket booth out front that's not really manned a lot of times if there's not really a show or anything going on. So I recommend going up to that 5th floor, going over, getting inside that box office, and you buy all your tickets there. So they have hard tickets, and they'll show you which ones they have. They got different seating combination and everything else, because it's when they do the physical tickets, a lot of different places will just have tickets for sale, and they'll just have hard tickets. You can't show me everything that's available. Everything available is just what they have in stock. But if you're not looking to buy all of your tickets, over the internet right up front, you want to go to Kurikan, get an experience, go up that box office. We were able to pick up all the tickets we needed, but like I said, DDT was already sold out. New Year's Dash, we did get our tickets beforehand, and we did buy the tag team tournament tickets in advance just because we're going to get there an hour before the show. We will make sure we had good seats. So recommend that, going to Kurikan, getting that. Shinkiba was a little bit harder. They don't really have a box office. It was really hard. We went there for the Freedom Show, and in a little bit of broken Japanese and English, had to figure out how to get a ticket from the person who waited at the box office right there. So that was an experience. Lodging and accommodation. Hopefully you have some, a decent hotel already picked out. Let me go ahead and give you our experience from going. We got the capsule hotels. Capsule hotels are something that you normally, I feel like you only see in Japan, and we want to go ahead and have an authentic Japanese experience by staying in the capsule hotels. And let me tell you, it was awkward. A capsule hotel, if you don't know what it is a mausoleum, essentially, that you sleep in. So the one that we had, and keep in mind, these are all male and all female, I was going to say mausoleums, but they're capsule hotels. So you're not going to, run the risk of sleeping next to a woman in one of the capsules. So it was $20 a night. It was cheap. It was an authentic experience, so we thought. So we decided to go ahead and spend a week there, pay up front, with Expedia. And so we got there. There's a few things that, ground rules that we had to follow. So as we walked in, we had to put on these little robes that essentially look like prison uniforms. All of our bags and everything else had to actually stay in the lobby. So we had a locker that we could put our, valuables and all that stuff into, but our actual bag had to just sit out in the middle of a lobby, guarded by the people at the front desk when they were actually there. It was a little scary. I didn't really like it, but like I said, I put all my valuables somewhere else, so at most I could steal a couple of clothes. But still, not a good situation, not a good experience. And then on top of that, we were supposed to have a sauna and a hot tub that was going to be in the hotel. That we thought we could hang out, talk wrestling, with their with Japan's liberal laws. We have a couple drinks in the hot tub, what have you. So it turns out that those were all actually inside of the community shower. And so community shower, if you're thinking of like going to a gym and you have your own personal little shower, you just gotta, put your towel on, whatever. No. So the community shower in Japan is a bunch of naked dudes sitting on buckets and showering themselves. You weren't allowed to bring clothes in. I want to say you were allowed to bring a towel in, but I mean, it was just a weird experience. And the problem was you couldn't take clothes in there, so that means that you couldn't put on swim trunks and sit in the sauna or sit in the hot tub. And so the one experience I have sitting in the hot tub was I went in by myself and I sat down. There was nobody else in there. It was like 4 in the morning. I just wanted to relax, hang out for a few minutes. The water was ridiculously hot, and this random old guy that hadn't even seen him around ripped off all his clothes and got right in the hot tub with me, which made me get right out. It was a weird experience. The best part about it was when I recanted it back to Mark, he said that the next morning he actually did the same thing at about 6 or 7. This was the day that I actually slept in, which people that know me know I never do. He went into the bathroom or the community shower and sat down, and the same old dude walked in and hopped in the hot tub with him. Weird experience. I don't know. Weird experience. But if you want to have a couple of nights of just sleeping really cheap and you're not worried about all those things, it was a decent sleep actually. So I would recommend it for that. But if you have the money, get a hotel. Traveling around Japan. So traveling around Japan, if you're staying near the Tokyo Dome, you're pretty much set if you don't want to go, and see a lot of different things. So if you're planning on just going for wrestling, what I would recommend is find a hotel right next to the Tokyo Dome in Tokyo Dome City. And Tokyo Dome to Kurikan Hall is about a 30-second walk. Kurikan Hall to the different, New Japan shop, Tudokan, Champions, Ibritas, is about a 3-4 minute walk. I mean, everything's right next to each other. But if you're going to go ahead and stay a little bit further out, we stayed at Ueno Station, which, if you decide to look it up, it's kind of a seedy place. But if you decide to stay a little further out, if you're anywhere near a train line, the way they travel on it is so efficient. I mean, it's unlike anything I've ever seen. The only thing I can really compare it to was New York in terms of efficiency, and New York's not even really that efficient. Japan was just great. Every 6 minutes, the train you would need to catch would come past. We were able to get to the Tokyo Dome on the train very, very quickly. Although we stayed a mile out, so a lot of times we also just walked it because it wasn't that bad. We got to see the scenery. So if you're gonna stay in Tokyo Dome City, like, you're golden. You don't have to do anything. The only thing that you'll have to actually travel for if you want to do as a wrestling fan is Ribera. Ribera is very, very far out of the way. I don't actually know how Bruiser Brody was able to stumble in this random neighborhood to find it. Going to Ribera actually reminded me of being in an American city. Like, it almost felt like walking the neighborhoods of San Francisco. It was just such an interesting experience because it was very much unlike anything we had seen in Tokyo, and it was very far away. And yes, we did Roppongi in the middle of the afternoon. It was interesting. It was weird. We didn't really find any nightclubs, but we did get robbed. So the last little tidbit that I'll go ahead and leave you with, have fun. These Tokyo shows are amazing. I mean, All Japan, New Japan, 01, DDT. We didn't see the Stardom show, but Stardom, I imagine, throws down. Wrestle 1. Amazing shows. The ambiance. Being at Kurikan Hall is unlike any feeling that I've ever felt because of all the history there and just seeing the amazing shows. I never got to go to the East W Arena in its prime. There's a feeling that you get when you're watching these shows and just thinking about all these different memories. I mean, the only time I've ever actually felt that was being in Madison Square Garden for the first time or doing the PWG shows, which, the electricity of what's going on in there. So have fun. And also remember that Kurikan and these other venues are BYOB and bring your own food and everything else. So, if you're planning on doing something like that, like they have the concessions and they're great. Like, I really enjoyed the chicken sandwich at the concession place. But one of the things we really enjoyed was there's kind of experience of headed over to the there's a convenience store right in between the Denny's and this little magazine shop, which the magazine shop has tons of wrestling magazines too, so check them out as well. if you want to go ahead and bring back souvenirs. But this convenience store, everybody getting ready for the show will go just mob on this convenience store, and get in there, and you can pick up your beers, you can pick up your snacks, your sandwiches, whatever else. Bring it straight into Kurikan. You can sit there and eat and drink without having and they don't have high prices in Kurikan either. That's another nice thing. They actually have like some vending machines with like some sodas and stuff there that are really moderately priced. It was really good for just being able to go grab a soda during the show. But again, like, you can also bring your own food in, so you're not gonna get gouged, but at the same time you can bring exactly what you want and have it ready to go instead of having to rely on somebody else to have it for you. So that was really nice. But yeah, so have fun, do that. Avoid the fried chicken place across from Kurikan, though. I'm just saying that's the tidbit that I'm giving you. But have fun, and I can't wait to see all of the different pictures and experiences and everything else that you guys are going to have in a couple of weeks. And I hope that this video helped you even a little bit. The comments are right down here. If you have anything, if you want to know anything, any advice, anything like that, hit up the comments. I reply to everybody. And hey, I do a lot of other trips too, so go ahead and subscribe to these. I mean, your views are my oxygen. The subscribes, amazing. I feel blessed to be able to do a lot of these trips. I also feel blessed to be able to give you advice if you're looking to do these trips. Or if you just want to live vicariously through me, that's cool too. So, a little long-winded this week, but I hope I helped somebody, and I'll talk to you next week.